Hi then, we ask ourselves questions from time to time. Why at the beginning of the relationship? Why at the beginning of new business or new partnership in a business? Why after several years of living in the same house, we feel kind of burned out? We don't understand this. It happens. It's a kind of regular stuff we can experience on a regular basis in our life. And this really happens to every one of us. So why does it happen that after several months or several years, we just feel unhappy, unfulfilled? So the first date was perfect. And then after 3 years, it's no more perfect anymore. We don't feel excitement. We are not excited anymore about the other person. It's the same with our business could be, or the same place where we live, or the house we bought 5 years before. Suddenly we feel that we just don't appreciate, we are not excited. It's cliche for us. It's something that it doesn't excite us anymore. And then what do? We want to change it. We have this desire. The desire awakes in us that we should change the partner, we should change the relationship, we should find a new business, perhaps a new place to live, a new house, which is okay. Of course it's okay, but it's not the question whether or not it's okay. The question is why this is happening to us. Is it natural? And I would compare this situation, this kind of consciousness, this form of consciousness to vacation. When we go to vacation, we feel as tourists. Wherever we go, we just kind of feel happy, and we talk to people on the street and we smile and we say the food is delicious, the buildings are so beautiful, the weather, the view, it's amazing, it's out of this earth. Now, the sun is the same, of course. The grass is the same, we would say. So why do we kind of say this? It's not only that we say, we feel that internally, deep inside us, we feel, well, this place is awesome. This place is wonderful. It's something amazing. And we also know, being on holiday, that because we are tourists, it's a different type of life. But if we lived here, now everything would be different. Now from the colorful stuff, everything would be gray and gloom. Why? Is it that we cannot live in the world that is always colorful or full of colors? Of course we can. So what is the difference here? Why this is happening to us? And the answer we can find in Bible when Moses sent these 12 leaders to Israel, and he told them before they moved there that they should have the consciousness of tourist, not the type of consciousness of being a resident. Because once we have this kind of consciousness of being resident, we don't see the excitement anymore. We don't see the truth anymore. Why? Because engrafted in us kind of entitlement. So the consciousness is changing not because we are not tourists anymore, but it changes. And this is quite interesting because sometimes it changes after 2 weeks, sometimes it changes after 2 months, sometimes it changes after, let's say, 2 years being in a different place. Now we don't smile anymore to these people. Now we don't see the buildings anymore so exciting and colorful. And the view, we get used to it. It's not that the view changed, it's our consciousness changed. It's not tourist consciousness anymore. It's resident. It's called so-called residency. But why it's residency? Because we feel entitlement. This client belongs to me. This business now belongs to me. This piece of road and street belongs to me. This building I'm living belongs to me. So if we start feeling in that way, now slowly, step by step, gradually, we pick it up the consciousness of residency. Now, this, of course, kind of consciousness is very dangerous, and we shouldn't have it on a regular basis, but this is what it happened to us. Because if we encounter everyday problems, kind of could be any problems, meeting with someone, somebody said something to us, we went somewhere, somebody didn't want to talk to us, whatever reason. It could be a fear, excitement, anything. Why do we react in a reactive way? Because we have the consciousness of entitlement, of residency. And I remember living in England for over 6 years, that after first 2 years I was so excited. I was living in 90s, it was in 90s, I was living in heaven on earth. Everything was perfect. I changed tie 3 times a day and a shirt. Everything was perfect. The food was perfect. The people were perfect. But why it changed after 5 years? I didn't understand those days. Why? Now I understand that it was my consciousness. Because I didn't approach the same place and people and food and stuff and even the sun and the rain with the consciousness of tourism. I was not excited anymore. I was complaining. I was complaining on everything around me, on the society. I was complaining about the people. I was complaining about everything. And of course, in effect, I left England. Though I still appreciate the country so much and people now, much more than then. Now, we also should pay attention to that, and it's worth coming back in our consciousness to a place in our past where we went a tourist, or we had a tourist consciousness, and then in our regular basis compare the situation where we have the consciousness of residency and see why the problem, the same issue which we had on vacation, and the same issue, whatever, it could be even an argument, it was not a problem for us. We could talk to a waiter in a hotel and he said there is no egg scramble anymore, and say that's okay. But if we are here and there is no eggs in the house, we start to complain, where are the eggs? Why? Why didn't you buy the eggs? So you see, and try to compare the same situation, and you will see that it's a different kind of consciousness. It's a consciousness of residency. And we should pay attention to it. So it's a very good exercise to come back to our past, pick up these two consciousness, and what we should we do in our business, in our relationship, in our house, in our society. If we feel like having this kind of consciousness of residency, transform. And that's what will give us the pleasure and the fulfillment as we had, let's say, a few years before. All the best. Thank you.